Kaustubha Das here with the big announcement for Wisdom of the Sages listeners. This August will be Ashram Month at the Super Soul Farm. Simple ashram living, rising early, morning kirtan, yoga and pranayama, healthy vegan and vegetarian meals, farm seva and being immersed in nature, and then gathering in the evenings for kirtan and readings. Plus, each week we'll have a lead presenter teaching a different facet of the philosophy and lifestyle of Bhakti-yoga. Week number 1 will be the exceptional Bhakti Lata teaching a course called The Beauty of Bhakti, bringing the culture of love and devotion into our lives. Week number 2 is my brother from another mother, Raghunath, teaching Falling in Love with Divinity, the Bhakti-yogi's method for opening the heart. And week number 3 is myself with a course called Following the Path, examining the history and teachings of Bhakti-yoga. You can come for 1, 2, or all 3 weeks, and the pricing is by donation. For more dates and information, go to wisdomofthesages.com/events. Peace. Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kaustubha. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kaustubha Das. Welcome to the show. I'm also here live with Satchidananda Swami. Hi, Krishna. He's direct from the spiritual world, imported here, flew on in on a flower airplane. And we are winding up our upstate New York Wisdom of the Sages retreat, which has been quite wonderful, hasn't it? Yes, so we have a good night, a very wonderful crew here, and Seth Lieberman, Madhava Prabhu was here yesterday for kirtan, and his whole gang, and it was quite a wonderful way to wind it down. And today we're all getting ready, we're winding things up, hopping in our vehicles, and heading to New York City for the New York City Wisdom of the Sages retreat at the Bhakti Center with a special field trip to Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra. Haribol, Jagannath Swami ki jai.
Jai.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
Are there nuggets today?
I sent you a nugget.
You did, because there it is.
Why don't we have Mara meanwhile? You absorb the nugget. Mara can
I
give it
will
down.
absorb the nugget. Mary, you
While you're absorbing.
tell us what's the latest.
We have Bhakti Recovery Group meeting today at 1 p.m.
Ooh.
and tomorrow's our Q&A day. So you can email questions to us at wisdomofthesages108@gmail.com.
All right. I got an announcement.
Yes, sir.
Tell us.
My 21st wedding. Did you hear it?
We lost you.
We lost you.
Can you hear? I say today is Gita Priya and I's 21st wedding anniversary.
Ah,
Aw.
My love goes out to her.
A sweet couple. Some people just get along really good when they're married. It's quite fascinating, isn't it?
We all have different
Congratulations,
paths.
Prabhu.
Thank you.
I'm happy for your successful marriage.
Thank you very much. You got the nugget.
Oh, I got the nugget.
This will conclude our Thomas Merton week, you could say.
Okay, good.
And this one's good. This one is about what we do every day, which is about reading the Shastra, reading Bhagavatam.
Okay, Maharaj, you ready for this?
Yes.
Because I can't get Thomas Merton very well, but you seem to take it all in and give something out even better. By reading the scriptures, I am so renewed that all nature seems renewed around me and with me. The sky seems to be a cooler blue. The trees a deeper green. The whole world is charged with the glory of God, and I feel fire and music under my feet. Fire? Thomas Merton. I'm going to read that again.
It's a good kind of fire.
A good fire. Okay. Like sort of okay. By reading the scriptures, I wonder what scriptures he's meaning. Does he mean various scriptures from around the world?
I mean, I'm sure primarily his Bible was the book that inspired him, but he was studying, all different kind of books. He wrote an appreciation for Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita.
Were you into Thomas Merton as a young man?
I knew of him that he had been following a very strict Jesuit path, and that he had various doubts which he resolved on the path, but I was not into him, only peripherally.
Okay. You have some takeaways from that today? You have some realizations, Kaustubha?
Do I? Well, Maharaj still may have some on that quote. Let us hear from Maharaj first.
Maharaj, would you like to quote on this? Comment on this?
Yeah, definitely. When we read wisdom texts, our perspective changes. It's almost as if we were a little blind before, and we get the right spectacles all of a sudden and see things as they are. That's one thing. But I think especially for the Bhagavatam study, you seem to capture Krishna when you read the scriptures, and he becomes manifested or revealed in the heart. I can imagine the same thing holds true for believers of other traditions, but my experience is, yes, I get also fire under the feet and bliss in the heart.
Yeah, music.
Kaustubha?
Yes, no, it. In other words, if there's no meaning to life,
Frozen
right?
Kaustubha?
Oh no, you're not frozen to me. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mara, you hear him?
Mara can hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Raghunath.
Hi.
It's not even raining today, and we're having all this trouble.
What's going on with our new Starlink
Got
system?
a new Starlink. I was thinking that if there's no meaning to life, the whole thing starts to become dull and even like drudgery. For so many people, it can feel like that. And but these studies, what they do is they help us understand. Oh, there's meaning to everything. Everything's valuable. Even the cloudy days. I'm growing from this. And it's giving life. So I think that's something about what he's talking about. But I'm sure it can be understood on deeper levels too. Like when you feel that when you pick up that book, that it's not just a book and it's not just information, but it's actually a kind of communion, with God. And I think Thomas Merton was feeling that. When we read Bhagavatam, we're in the presence of Krishna. That's where Bhagavatam starts. Is it? The sages are saying, now the Kali Yuga is here. Where are we going to find Krishna? And the answer is in the pages of the Bhagavatam. Yeah, it's a very real kind of association.
I find it. I find when I read it, it's almost like a bath, mental bath, clearing of the mind, recalibrating the consciousness, and it sort of chases away any like foggy stuff in my mind. It also chases away people who sort of like are bugging me. Like, for example, if there's people who are just like talking my ear off, and I'll just say, hey, you want to sit down and read the Bhagavad Gita? They're like, oh, I gotta go. You know what I mean? They're just like, There's something like if a person is really interested in just like nonsense stuff, the last thing they want to do is hear, sit, and read something like that. So it does scare away sort of like monsters in my mind, fear in my mind, anxiety in my mind, and also like, yeah, yes, that's all I'm going to say.
Okay, Raghunath, thank you. I think we should talk a little bit about last night.
It was very nice. Maharaj, you want to say?
Yeah, there is a quality to the kirtan of Madhava, which I have seen over the years. It's a quite distinct quality. He starts his kirtan very slow. That's what you hear, but what you feel is something different. While he sings his kirtan, you feel this invitation and gentle pull into the inner world. It's a very distinct quality, and I have wondered about this. I've wondered what is the secret of Madhava's kirtan, which makes his kirtan quite different from other kirtans. And it is really this ability to pull us from the world of our thoughts, our plans, sometimes our worries, to a very deep place. I've spoken with Madhava about this, and he asked him, why do you think you have this almost mystical potency, which is very rare to find in the kirtan world? And he says he doesn't know. He says, I spent my early life in Vrindavan, where I was part of an initiative called the 24-hour kirtan. There were monks who were dividing between themselves the day into slots, and in such a way that for 24 hours non-stop the kirtan would go out, and they would take these slots in between them. Another explanation might be found in previous lifetimes. I personally think, and I have discussed this with others who have some knowledge of astrology, that Madhava is not doing this for the first time. It's not the first life where he does it, and he has done it in a previous life. So yes, it was very, very special, but you need to know with Madhava kirtans, they are like trains. Either you get on them and it then brings you somewhere, or if you stay on the outskirts, you may miss the train. You know?
Yeah, I felt like everyone was in it last night, and it felt like the culmination of our retreat, in the sense that, you know, we got together, we practiced yoga together, we studied the Shastra and discussed our realizations about it together. We lifted our consciousness up together, and then all of that philosophy and knowledge and talk and taking prasad, it all leads ultimately to like our ability to kind of get lost and uplifted by that kirtan. And who better, you know, Madhava, as everything Maharaj is saying, so true. It's not ordinary, that kirtan. And the way he speaks at the beginning, and he describes, you know, this is what kirtan is. It's not this, it's not that, you know. And he gets everyone in that right state of mind. And then, you know, it starts to lift, you know, it's picking up, it's lifting you up. And before long, it's like you feel like you're on one of those flower airplanes, and you're just rising up into the sky, and there's no turning back, you know.
I do like the way he sets the scene in the beginning. Just say, yeah, we're not here to show off our great voices, our great musical talents. Not what it's about. It really has you enter into a real grave, focused mood of prayer. And then it just goes for a few hours nonstop. It's beautiful.
I was thinking of you during it, Raghunath.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, because I felt like we were on this flower airplane. It was going up. It was lifting. It was taking us, higher and higher to the spiritual realms.
You and me, we're on the airplane together.
Well,
Thinking of
honestly,
me?
I
You were
wasn't thinking of it like that. I was. We were on
What would it
separate.
be like if we were on F5?
We're on separate ones going up, and no, and I was thinking that because sometimes they do have this worry, Raghunath,
Yeah.
that your fascination with the Siddha Loka and the different aliens in the different planets that
They're very interesting things.
I know, and I was thinking that on your way up, you might think, "Oh my God, that's so interesting! I want to go see that." But I was thinking, no, that's not going to happen to Raghunath, because this kirtan is going to just totally captivate him. There's going to be this music as you're going up.
It's a journey, Prabhu. It's a journey.
Oh, no, but-
You must
yeah,
the
but this is
scenic
how
journey.
this is how I see your journey there on that plane with you, and you're going up, and can you hear me? Did you hear?
Yeah, no.
And you're going up and you're floating up and you're going past the Siddha Loka and all the different lokas. You're seeing the sages there and then different kind of Gandharvas and beings.
Tipping my hat to them.
Yeah. And you're like, wow, that is beautiful. But I'm on this, I'm going and the music is just going to carry you right past those places. That's my complete faith.
Thank you, Prabhu.
And
We're
then what you have to
Sit
do is
next
at
to
that
each
point,
other on the flower airplane.
well, you have to
And I
remember
was
me
like,
at
wait,
that time.
Kaustubha, let's stop off at the bird planet. It's cool.
Yeah, you see, no, you're going to be like
No,
right past the bird
we
planet.
gotta get back to Krishna quick.
But you have to think of me at that time and say, "Oh, Kaustubha's down there still."
And now, Prabhu, come on.
And
We're driving that flower airplane together.
and then you just talk to the four-armed beings on the plane, and you say, "Hey, I have one friend back there. Before long," and then you speak to them on my behalf.
Prabhu, you're in the plane with me. Come on.
Okay.
We're in this together.
All right. Well, today we go down, and it's a big thing. It's a big happening. Our retreat starts today. Down the next retreat.
Yeah. Maharaj, and you want to say anything about Rath Yatra?
Maybe we can also even ask Maharaj if maybe he could play a little part in it. Does he even know we have another retreat going on?
You know that we're having a retreat in New York City at the Bhakti Center tonight. Raghunath Swami is going to speak at it. Then Saturday morning, tomorrow morning, we have a yoga class and then give a little satsang, stuff like that. And then we go to the Rath Yatra, and then Sunday morning we do something. Would you like to do something with us? Or do this? You can sit with us, do this.
Yeah, I very much, but I will have to study my schedule. You can't imagine. For me, America is another planet, and I have planned every step like Neil Armstrong, who planned his steps on the moon beforehand. So
Okay.
I need to see what engagements are there. But I would love to. In fact, I want to say to all of you who are listening to this broadcast, I'm so inspired by this format of discussing spiritual life in such a dynamic way, where there is South Pole and North Pole, or Raghunath and Kaustubha.
Yin yang.
I think I'm the South Pole.
Yin yang.
Discussing with each other, and there's in other words a wide spectrum available, where many spiritual subject matters are covered in a very satisfying and close to life way. It is relevant.
Thank you,
So,
Maharaj.
yes, if possible, I will study my schedule and the things which I can move around. I will move around and then join you in some ways.
Thank you. Listener.
Yes,
Are you staying at the Bhakti?
I'm a stone throw school.
Okay.
there I'm staying.
Okay.
We're
let's
gonna
hope
one
Maharaj-
last thing I want to mention. Yeah, let's hope Maharaj can join us. And actually, on Sunday, a regular listener to the show is is receiving initiation into the Gaudiya Vaishnava Bhakti-yoga Sampradaya by Satchidananda Swami, and that's Rukmini Podar.
Oh, Rukmini Podar.
Dear friend from
Love her.
who we served together at the Bhakti Center for years together, and now she's dedicating her life and committing in a very serious way to the practice, and that'll happen in the Bhakti Center
Oh, wow.
on Sunday, like around noon or something like that.
Okay.
So congratulations to Rukmini. We love you very much, and
Yeah,
we wish you all the
Rukmini is
best.
impressive. Can have a whole new name, even though your name is quite exotic now. What do you do with that? What do you do with that when they come to you with already a devotee name? Do you just add like Rukmini?
It's
Prabhu?
It's very difficult because a name should not just be any name. Like in America, you can call everyone Joe Schmo if you want.
And we do.
or in Germany, Hans Meyer. Also
Hans Meyer? That's your Joe Schmo?
Yes. Yeah.
Listen here, Hans Meyer.
So it really has to be the name which resonates with the personality of the person. And now when there's someone who's born in a devotee family and has a name, most probably that's their name, and you can't and you don't want to change it. So it is all up. Krishna is also there, and in the Gita he says it's from him where this intuition and inspiration, knowledge, and also forgetfulness comes. So as a spiritual guide to someone, you have to try to connect with Krishna and have to try to elicit an answer to the difficult question, what's this person's name? Is it the right name? Or does it need a change, or does it need a complete change, or whatever? It's up to Krishna.
Spice it up a little.
Yeah. Most probably.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah. Here I cannot see all the.
Just give her the name now. Give her the name now. We'll tell her what it is.
It has to happen in the right forum. And Wisdom of the Sages is a wonderful forum,
But not the right one.
But it is for this, in this case, a frame for the right forum.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice try, Raghunath.
Okay.
He wanted an exclusive.
Yes, we wanted insiders info. Anything you want to say about Lord Jagannath? Because I really like to, when it comes to a festival time, I really like to get into that manifestation of the deities. Just like yesterday, we did the Ganga Puja theme. Anything else you want to say about Lord Jagannath? Enlighten us, Maharaj.
In fact, I have something. Srila Prabhupada once explained this festival to a Western audience. He said externally, it's a wooden festival. And he said the car is made of wood. The cart wheels are made of wood. The deity is manifesting through an ancient tree. This wood of the So a bystander who sees the chariot rolling down the great streets of the world could say, it's all a wooden affair. There's only wood here. But no, he said, this wood is a conductor of the spiritual energy, just like a wire is a conductor of electricity. So he then closed his statement. He said, it's a very feeling festival. And with feeling, he pointed to the central motive of the festival. What's that central motive of the festival? The devotees pull or request that Krishna comes back in their heart. It's the residents of Vrindavan who had been separated from Krishna, who had left Vrindavan to go to the island city Dwaraka, and they got wind that he would visit Kurukshetra. So they came from Vrindavan to Kurukshetra to meet Krishna, who had come to Kurukshetra from Dwaraka. And when they saw him in his royal attire, they remembered their pastimes with Krishna in the forest of Vrindavan. Krishna was not like a king, but he was like one of them, dressed in a cowherd boy attire with flowers over his ears, with a very restless looking eyes, with a very joyful, playful nature. And they thought he's constricted by this, but he's surrounded now by military. He is like a king. He's constricted by these rules and so on. So they said, enough of this. This we can't tolerate. They took him out they grabbed his chariot and brought him back. It's almost as dramatic and as a love story as, let us say, people from a village who see their friend has become a president of a country. So they storm into the presidential residence and they say, enough of you playing president. We want you to play football and dive with us in the lakes of our village and roam the forest. And they kidnap him. It's a loving kidnap, loving kidnap. Enough of you playing president. This is not good. You should play with us in our village, in our style. So it's a very loving feeling towards God. We all will go to this chariot. We will grab the ropes. We will pull the ropes, and we will think, please let me pull you in my heart.
Mm.
Good motive.
That was good. I want to pull you in my heart.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm ready for Lord Jagannath.
Me too.
Okay. I'm staying at the Bhakti Center, the Chateau Bhakti Center with the kids.
Oh, good.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this.
Maybe we should just announce for anybody that hears. So I think it's at 12 o'clock at 45th Street and 5th Avenue.
Today?
Tomorrow. Well, tomorrow. Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday. That you can join this parade. You can get the ropes. You can pull that cart. And we pull it all the way from 45th Street and 5th Avenue down to Washington Square Park. And there's a big festival, music and food and beautiful people and dancing, drama, all kinds of stuff going on.
I remember my first Rath Yatra. Do you?
I remember the first Rath Yatra, that experience, because Washington Square Park is a place I used to hang out as a kid,
Right.
And so I remember and on that day, it's like the entire park is taken over by the Hare Krishnas. It's like, what is going on? It's like,
right.
They got all these booths set up and everything. And I was like, who are these people and what are they doing? Who are they? How did they get the right to take this place over today and interfere with my normal park experience? That was my first experience.
Well, getting off my experience, if you've ever been to the LA Rath Yatra, it's right on Venice Beach, right on the boardwalk. And, there's this idea in the Bhagavad Gita that there's, the different gunas, and then there's what's above the gunas, the spiritual realm above the gunas. So if you ever go to LA Rath Yatra, there's like a circle of tents, just like we have the festival in Washington Square Park. So there's that circle of tents at the end, I think, I can't remember, Rose Street or something. And it's like you're in the spiritual world. There's kirtan going on. There's different booths. There's prashadam. There's, there's very, very high vibe thing. And then you're like, this is incredible. I love Venice Beach. Venice Beach is great. And then you walk outside that sacred circle, and there's the guy in the bikini roller skating. And then there's like, oh, I got different. And you're just like, wait a second, where am I? And you can feel like you're walking out of the spiritual world. Notice that today. If you're going to the park today, feel that high. It's like a transcendental high. And it's not like it's evil. You're just walking back into the material world. And it definitely changes the consciousness. You know what I'm talking about, people?
Well, that's tomorrow, Raghunath, not today. Tomorrow.
Oh, that's tomorrow. Forget it. That's tomorrow.
But actually, that reminds me, today in Tompkins Square Park, where the Sankirtan movement was born in the Western world, where Prabhupada sat under the tree and began the first kirtan. There will be kirtan there today, and at noon today, no, at 1 p.m. today, Raghunath Swami will be, for the first time since COVID, he's going to be speaking publicly in the Western world, and he'll do kirtan and he'll speak there at 1 o'clock under that very tree in Tompkins
Are you going to be there?
Park. I'm definitely going to be there. Yeah. Okay. That's why I got to cut out a little early this morning, so that I can make it
you're
count.
Breaking into everybody now?
Yeah. Right.
Hey, top dollar for you to be here.
I got to cut out a little bit early.
They're all angry.
They're all like, we're cutting out too.
They're going to just leave me here.
Yeah, but Tompkins Square Park today.
Okay.
Be there.
Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan. Unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshva badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Ummilatam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Mara, where are we at today?
Reading from Canto 4, Chapter 21, Text 32.
All right.
4:21:32.
32. Okay. When a devotee takes shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is completely cleansed of all misunderstanding or mental speculation, and he manifests renunciation. This is possible only when one is strengthened by practicing Bhakti-yoga. Once having taken shelter at the root of the lotus feet of the Lord, a devotee never comes back to this material existence, which is full of the threefold miseries. Does that mean after death, or are we talking about in this lifetime?
Once having taken shelter at the root of the lotus feet of the Lord, a devotee never comes back to this material existence.
Does that mean like in this lifetime?
I'd assume you could see it both ways,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is that thing, and I've experienced that thing where like romancing Krishna, getting into it. Oh, this makes so much sense. Okay, yeah. We chant our beads, or we go to a kirtan, or we have that association. We feel that high. And then we just sort of like, this is too much. I'm going to get back into some Maya. What is Maya? What is Krishna anyway? And then all of a sudden we feel that pull, like a hook has been set in our heart. And we can't like get away from that hook. And we try to forget Krishna. We try to run away from Krishna. We try to say, well, Krishna's interesting, but so is many other things in my world. and there is a constant, like a reeling in of, we can never forget Krishna, and like nothing is the same anymore. Anybody know what I'm talking about here? Yeah. No matter how, you almost like sometimes really have to, in a difficult way, try to forget Krishna. And then someone brings to you some philosophy. So I'm like, oh yes, I've been studying this book, and this philosopher says this, this, and this, and this. And you use like Krishna consciousness as the metric of what, well, no, I don't know. That's impersonalism. Or, well, I don't know. Life could be eternal according to the Hare Krishnas. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's the perfect metric, I find, where you can throw the sounding board for throwing other philosophies against and just see how things weigh up. And once you get it, and what's higher than love anyway? You got something higher than love? I'll follow you. I'm yet to hear something.
Me neither. I don't think you're hear anything better, Raghunath.
Yeah.
You know, now there's this phrase here in this verse. It says Yad Angri Mule.
Hungry mule.
Yeah, hungry, not hungry. Yad Angri Mule. So mule, or you know, I guess the grammar in it is shifting. You know, changing the word mula. You know what mula means?
Mula means the root.
The root, right?
Like the root chakra, the
Muladhara chakra. Yeah, or like when you go get, you know, like when you're in Vrindavan and they have a cart sitting there, and on that cart is all like these long kind of radishes, right?
Called mulas.
Muli, right? Muli.
Muli.
Yeah, they just.
Or the mula mantras, right? It's the same thing.
Yes, yes.
Mula mantras.
Mula mantras or root mantras.
The root mantras, yeah.
So we often talk like this, Raghunath, right? That we say that here it says that Krishna's lotus feet. It means the Krishna, you know, that they are it says the root of the lotus feet, the mula, right? Yad Angri Mula. Angri is here translated as lotus feet. And it's saying that they're the root, right? So in other words, I'm not sure. Are you frozen?
No.
You gotta move. You got to keep moving around so that I know that you're still there, because otherwise I have no clue with the connection so bad. But so you know, we talk about this, right? It's like there's a tree, let's say, and the tree has many leaves. You know, and we are like the leaves on the tree. There are many leaves, and then there's one root. Now there's that verse in the Upanishads that says Nityo Nityanam Chaitanas Chaitananam Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kaman. It's considered to be like a really important verse. That many of the great commentators in the tradition Vedanta, they speak about this verse because it gives a whole clue. You'd like to say, Raghunath, like it's like the mysteries of the universe landed on our laps.
Yeah. Yes.
So this verse is like that. In this verse, it's like, if you want to figure out what life is all about, so much is in this verse, right? That Nityo Nityanam, that amongst all, Nitya means eternal, right? So amongst all the eternal living beings, there's one eternal being. And Chaitanas Chaitananam, amongst all of the conscious living beings, there's one conscious living being. Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kaman. The many, you know, are dependent on the one. And so just like with a tree, there's many leaves, but there's one root, you know, and all the leaves are dependent on that root. If one leaf says, you know, I've been a leaf for some time and it's you know, it's an interesting existence, but I wonder what it's like to be the root. You know, what if I were the root? Yeah. And I was surrounded by leaves. What if the whole world revolved around me? and just like the leaves, they take in the light from the sun, right? And they send. It's like they serve the root, right? Like they. It's like people that know about this kind of, you know, botanists and stuff. You know, there's like chlorophyll, and so it takes that sunlight and it sends it. You know, it does its service, right, to the root. And if the leaf said, why do I have to be like the leaf? I'm just one amongst many. I wonder what it's like to be the root. And I had all the leaves and they were all sending their chlorophyll my direction, you know, like they were all, you know, but if the leaf says, I want to try it, and then it says, I'm going to disconnect, then what happens to the leaf?
It withers.
It just withers, right? It
Dries
dries
up.
out. Yeah, because it's
taken by the breeze.
It's taken by it just and then it just crumbles, right? It dries out and becomes dust. It has no life anymore. It has no vitality.
As Shelter once said, These leaves become dry. We cry, and they drop with the breeze.
Oh, Raghunath, you are the
Felt that
bard of your
circa
generation.
1991.
You are the bard of your generation. What song was that?
Sharanagati.
Oh, that's in Sharanagati. Oh, very nice. That was one of your best songs.
I tried to enjoy my senses. What have I gained? So-called pleasures, just a cessation of pain. I fooled myself with love again and again, attracted by romance, smashed in the end, surrounded by people and left all alone. And even amongst friends, I felt far from home, but we're one with each other. Yet you're different from me, like a drop from the sea. If you want to be free, Sharanagati.
Oh, that's when the song is going like. Dun, 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 right? Is that one of your favorite ones to perform?
That was a good one. That was a good one.
So yeah. So now where were we? That the leaf is. Oh yeah. So the leaf, if it tries to take that position, right? If it's not satisfied with its own position, it says, "I want to be the root." And this is the point, that its dharma is different, right? It's not. Its dharma means its very essence is different. It's a leaf. It will never ever be a root. Even if it won't work. And if it separates itself from the root, it just dries up. It has no life. It has no vitality. But if it could understand that being a leaf is fantastic, right? Being a leaf is a beautiful, wonderful, and my connection with the root is a absolutely wonderful and satisfying and fulfilling connection, then it thrives. You know, and it has a relationship through that. You go ahead. Well, there's many points we can discuss.
I was going to say that. You know, sometimes we do these seva retreats at the farm, and people are just like doing every type of menial labor. Sometimes scooping out sheep dung or power washing.
You got to do this. Someone's got to do it.
Even like the great exalted Vedasara Prabhu is here. All he was saying to me all weekend during this whole retreat was like, is there any menial service I can do? Can I mow your lawn? Can I do anything? I got to do something. I got to feel useful. So, and sometimes.
And he's walking around in one of those foot things, like his foot is injured.
Yeah, he's got like a cast on. He's dressed in all white. He's dressed he started mowing lawns. Yeah, and you know, it's another one. Damodar Priya's car ran out of gas, and we passed them on the way home from Gopal's house the other day. And he's like running out in his foot cast, hopping along in the pitch black. I thought he was going to get hit by a car. Then we drive to the gas station. He's like spilling, you know, because the gas nozzle couldn't fit in. It popped out. He's getting gas all over his dhoti. And he's just like, no, I've got this. I'm going to take care of this. He's just rendering this menial service. I was like, nobody loves it. Or our good friend Vedasara is going up in flames. But it's just like for important people with important, I mean, there are a lot of people I don't actually, that I feel very close to in this room, but and Srinivas Prabhu is here. This guy's got like thousands of things going on in his life. Like, I just know people on there, like we talk about spiritual things, but a lot of these people have very, very big careers. And then they come here and just render menial service. And it gives some type of extra special significance. I know there was different times I was in the band in Shelter where, you know, we are big in the hardcore world. But then we had a few like glimpses of getting big in like MTV and things like that. And it was very, very peculiar phenomenon. Mm-hmm. The hardcore fans will never forget that you're a piece of crap. That's just the mood of the hardcore scene. But sometimes we got into circles where we were very big and very respected. And it's very, very peculiar because you're doing an interview and you're packed with fans and someone's got one of those microphones with a box on it, MTV microphone or something there. Oh, Ray, about this. And you say something stupid and everybody's like, ah! They're all laughing. Oh, that was so wonderful. You said that stupid thing. You know? And they're like hanging on every word. And in my heart, I'm thinking, this is weird. Why are they laughing at that? That wasn't even funny. Or that they're just, and it's a weirdly weird phenomenon to be that leaf separate from the tree where you're getting all this validation like you are the center. And in your deepest heart of hearts, you know, I'm the same loser I always was. I'm the same guy. What's going on? Why are they in so much illusion that they're worshiping me, who's in tremendous illusion? They're in double illusion. And so there is something when we get that ego stroked in the material world, that as nice as the ego makes it feel, there's always a feeling like, I'm going to be found out. I'm going to be found out. They're going to find out what's underneath this costume. And it riddles the self with anxiety, actually. And that's why sometimes there are celebrities who like to do off camera menial things. They like to do things where they get their hands dirty and stuff to help ground themselves and connect with their beautiful smallness. There's a beauty in accepting that I'm part of something bigger. What do you think about that, Maharaj?
Very well said, yes. When you live in a pretense, there is always this anxiety, I will be found out, the reality will show. And so you're trembling underneath. I know that, of course, I'm now an old man, but there was the celebrities, the Beatles, and George Harrison couldn't take it any longer to be so much worshipped. So he went into the garden and made his hands dirty. Right. And he's felt that is good for grounding. And yes, this praise in spiritual life, it is known, if you're praised, the praise acts like poison. It corrupts your character. So what you do when you're praised in spiritual circles, you very honestly say, well, I'm only doing this because I have received some grace from my spiritual master or for Krishna. In other words, you take that praise, which is like a cup of poison, and you give it to, wait before you laugh, towards your teacher, guru. But in the process, it turns into a cup of gold. Yeah. Praise, which is accepted by me, is poison. Praise, which is given to where it belongs, is gold. It's not gold. Nectar. It makes you immortal. So when you're praised, and you will see, your ego will go, finally, the world is fair to me. And it sees my extraordinary universal qualities. But when you see, that's only the ego. At that time, step back, watch it and say, well, yes, I may have said this, but I've learned it from scripture. I've heard it from my teacher. So give the praise to where it belongs, and then the same praise doesn't act like poison, but like nectar.
Prabhu, it's like fame, or that separateness where you're the center, you're getting the worship, you're getting the praise. It's like not being a qualified electrician and dealing with high voltage wires. Just like if after a storm, like some high voltage wires come down, and I tell my 8-year-old, hey, go out there and make sure that get those wires back up. It's like, it's completely dangerous. And I found myself, and I wasn't the Beatles, but at all. But it doesn't matter. It's just wherever you are in the workplace where you're getting tons of accolades, tons of appreciation, you're the center, people are satelliting around you. That anxiety from deeply understanding, like, you're not the center. You're just the same person. It causes so much disconnect with your genuine self. And then it adds an extra type of problems. One is the envy of people who are above you. Like, okay, I'm here and I'm insecure, so I'm going to have to get higher. And sometimes other qualities like, how can I take them down? How can I get high? Criticizing the people who are above you. And then, of course, there's the people who are just like you, but a little lower. And they're at your heels. So then there becomes a distress towards those people who are coming after you and want your position in the workplace. I mean, I did it with music, but I'm sure, you know, in the banking industry or in the finance world or in the any industry, there is the material world. There's that. Anywhere in the material world that exists, it can even exist in a spiritual institution, right? Where we're supposed to be spiritual, but there is hierarchies, etc. So truthfully, you know, we see Maharaj, who he's a guru and he has many thousands of disciples, but that can't last. And the reason why it does last with Maharaj is he doesn't hold the poison. If you hold the poison, you'll crumble, you'll cry. You're not offering it back. So the accolades can come to the guru. The accolades will come. Why? Because you start to shine, people. And then what happens is other people are like, man, I want to be like that too. So you're going to get praise anyway. That's what happens in the yoga system. It's when we hold on to that praise, that's when we start to crumble. And it can't last. It cannot last, right, Mars?
It cannot last, and you will appreciate this very much. I would like to share with you an interview which was done to the most well-known Russian actor of his time. His name was Peter, and then a Russian name which my tongue cannot say. And the interviewer wanted to know, you are known all over the country. Every child has seen your movie, every young person, but you seem to be still so accessible. You are so kind. And this Peter then shared the following story. Once Jesus was was riding on his donkey into Jerusalem. And as he was entering Jerusalem, people were just beside themselves. Here's the king of Judea coming, and they were fanning him with palm leaves. They were throwing their upper garments up in the air to joyously welcome him. And as he was receiving so much praise, fame, and accolades of a huge town and of the entire community, he felt, well, the people see something in me, but this is only what the Lord has invested in me. It is the Lord who they glorify, seeing his works in me. Now, this was going on. Meanwhile, his donkey, small skinny donkey, was braying happily. He said, he thought, finally the people notice my glories. They are fanning me so that the cool breeze is evaporating the perspiration from me. They have seen that I'm the real deal here, and so on. But this was donkey philosophy or donkey perspective. So when you take the fame, you may have to ask yourself the question, where am I? Am I above, or am I under the bottom of Jesus? Am I in the donkey category? I feel when we are really praised, and there are some good things, like Raghunath has an extraordinary, witty mind. It goes very fast. He can jump very high. I think double his size.
It's not much.
Yeah.
That's not very high.
Yeah. He has a loud voice. He doesn't really need a sound system if he gets into it. So there are phrases, I'm saying humorously, there's a good heart and there's a good intelligence, obviously. But so there are these qualities, but they are given to him. They are given and you will see, you feel much better when, despite of your beauty, your wealth, your education, your everything, you understand, this is given to me. This is a temporary lease. I will have to give it back at the time of death.
Mm.
And this will make you very happy. It will not bring you into a minority complex or inferiority complex. You feel very happy when you are humble. It starts with the same letter H. Humble means happy.
Yeah. Thank you, Maharaj. It's 7:01, Kaustubha G.
Yeah.
What a fun week it's been. I want Satchidananda Maharaj on the show every day. How can that happen?
Make
I
it
just
happen.
feel very natural sharing the mic and like listening from you, and I feel comfortable with you nearby at all times. I think that's can we make that arrangement and that we can be with each other all the time?
Yeah, we have similar feelings of adventure, of living life fully, of exploring, of finding out the real thing and not dealing on the surface. Yes, yes, I feel extremely energized in your presence.
Maharaj. Me too. It was so sweet. I went upstairs to my room where you're staying in, and Satchidananda Maharaj was taking a little nap, and I was so sweet to see him napping in my bed. When I went up to the bedroom later that day, I was like, "Oh, Maharaj has napped in my bed." I'm so honored. It was very sweet. Hey, Mara.
Hey.
You got some takeaways for us today that we can put in our pocket and use when life gets tough?
I do. I've got a lot of good stuff today.
Alrighty.
Bhagavatam brings fire under the feet and bliss in the heart.
Yes. Clap meter 7. You can't see, but everybody's clapping. Okay, we're gonna just keep this going here.
Bhagavatam is a mental bath.
Come on. All right, that's like an 8. We're gonna call that an 8.
All right. Generous. Ratha Yatra, a feeling festival. Pull Krishna back into your heart.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I'm in.
The leaf will never be the root.
Golf clap here. Okay.
There's a beauty in your smallness.
That was you, Raghunath. That was you.
That was me, huh?
Yeah.
I'm withdrawing that
Okay.
takeaway. Well, you know what? There is, but it's an incomplete that you need that in context. You know what I mean? That's like taking a harmonium key out of the harmonium and say,
Well, how about just this? Hashtag the beautiful smallness.
Ooh.
No.
Come on, Raghunath. No, I just don't go for
I was just about to get that tattooed, Prabhu.
it.
All right, let's go back to that.
All right.
What else we got?
Praise accepted is poison. Praise passed on is nectar.
Oh,
I like it.
Humble
Good
means happy.
What?
Humble means happy. Humble means happy.
humble means happy.
Humble means happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not so good.
Anything else?
Sometimes in context.
Yeah.
There's context. AJ, so wait a second. Let's ask Jiu-Jitsu Nath if he's got one.
Yeah, let's hear.
Hansmeier. That's it. That's it. He just says Hansmeier.
Hashtag Hansmeier.
Hansmeier and Joe Blow.
Schmo.
Schmo.
Oh, Schmo. Joe Blow. That's another one.
Was that it, Mara? Or was there any more?
Is
Yeah,
that it, Mara?
What about the donkey perspective? There has to be some hashtag donkey perspective, something like
Yeah.
that.
Don't be a donkey.
am I above or under the bottom of Jesus?
That's right. Am I Jesus? Or am I the
under
donkey?
Jesus's bottom?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's the show today. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Satchidananda Maharaj for being our guest this week. This is like a real talk show. I feel like this is like Merv Griffin.
You need the
And thanks for all the live. This has been wonderful. Look at all these wonderful people. And I want to thank everybody who was here at the farm, all the Savites. I want to thank Madhava Prabhu for coming up with the posse. And I also want to, looking forward to seeing all the people flying in today for our Wisdom of the Sages retreat in New York City. I hope you like what we're doing. I want to really thank all the people who contribute to us. That's the way this can only stay going if people contribute, and people have. And I'm really grateful. If you'd like to make any monthly donation, it'd be good. It's Wisdom of the Sages. No. It's patreon.com/Wisdom of the Sages. And that keeps this boat floating. Thank you very much. Mara, anything else interesting announcements we got? Oh,
No,
check
but
out our website.
Yeah, if people want to make a one-time donation, they can do that at wisdomofthesages.com.
Yeah, some people don't like the every
Monthly.
monthly deletion from. You can just make it one time. It's all welcome. And check out our ashram month. Ever want to live in an ashram, but don't want to give up your life, give up your car, give up your bank balance? Just come stay with us for a week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. Remember the old days where you move into an ashram and you're like, okay, take everything I have. That's what they used to, right? We changed it. We've made ashram 2.0. You just come for a week. Keep your car. Unless you want to give your car, we'll take it. Go to wisdomofthesages.com and click on ashram month. And also, we've got other great retreats. Kirtan study with me and Madhu. Got a yin weekend. If you're stressed and wiped and overwhelmed and want to add some yin restorative and bhakti to your life, Bobby Marchand's retreat is coming up. Whew. I can't think anymore. Oh, Wisdom of the Sages up here. If you missed this one, Wisdom of the Sages, 4th of July, first annual retreat. We're excited for that. Bonfires, vegan marshmallows, the whole works. We didn't have a bonfire this week. How did we miss out on a bonfire? Rain. It rained a lot. Thanks, everybody.
You wanted
Let
to
us
stare
dance.
at the fire, Raghunath, right?
Let us dance and be merry.